This is the TNA Wrestling April 3rd, 2025 full show results video. The show started with a match between Elijah versus Frankie Kazarian, and the result of this match was Frankie Kazarian defeated Elijah when Frankie Kazarian catch Elijah with a rolling cradle after a miscommunication at ringside between Joe Hendry and Elijah to score the pinfall victory. After the match, Hendry attacks Kazarian, then security tries to separate them, but it doesn't work. Eventually, Elijah pulls Hendry off Kazarian but seemingly injures his shoulder in the process. Backstage, the doctor checks on Joe Hendry's shoulder and insists he go to the hospital to get himself checked out. After the break, Eddie Edwards brings all of the system to the ring and teases that one of them will be eliminated from the group. Edwards goes through each member, and they all insist they want to remain with the faction. Edwards finishes up with Moose, but before anything can happen, Cody Deaner comes to the ring and attempts to instigate things and convince Moose to leave the group. He gets beaten down by the system instead. Gia Miller is backstage with Masha Slamovich, Zaya Brookside, and Lei Ying Lee. The three women use this moment to hype their match later on tonight between Tessa Blanchard, JC Jane, and Jasmine Nix. Backstage, Santino Marella confronts the system and informs him that Leon Slater and Matt Cardona are the first competitors entering the Ultimate X match at Rebellion. The next match happened between Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson versus Spitfire, and the result of this match was Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson defeated Spitfire when Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson hit the MKO on Jody Threat and Jakara Jackson scored the pinfall victory for the team. Mike Santana and his friend Derek run into Santino Marella backstage. Santana thanks Marella for giving his friend a backstage spot with the company after being sober for 3 months.
I have a huge announcement for you. If you are a fan of intense, hard-hitting action scenes that you rarely see on YouTube, then introducing our sponsor, BigScreenAction.com to you, the ultimate destination for extreme action and adrenaline-pumping fight scenes. Check out the Dark Avengers, one of the thrilling clips that you are watching right now on your screen. Big Screen pushes action and drama to the next level. If you are a true high-octane entertainment fan, this is the place where you need to be.
Back to the show, TNA World Tag Team Champions, the Hardys, make their way to the ring to speak. Matt says that when the Namaths left him lying in a pool of his own blood at Sacrifice, it didn't scar him emotionally, but when he went home and saw his children, it scarred them, and that hurt him more than anything Nick could do to him physically. Matt says the scar on his nose will become a symbol of the pain and fear in his children's eyes and hearts. He teases being broken once again and says that the Namaths must be deleted. Jeff says the Namaths made the biggest mistake of their lives when they didn't finish the job. They are interrupted by the Great Hands, who say the Hardys have been on top of the tag team mountain for decades, but they are a reality check for them that it's not 1999 anymore, it's 2025. Matt says in '99 they were great, but now they are the greatest of all time. The Great Hands get in the ring and say they want a shot at the TNA Tag Team titles. Santino Marella comes out and makes a match between the two teams. Marella says if the Great Hands win, they'll be first in line for a shot at the titles, and that match is next. Then we saw a match between the Hardys versus the Great Hands, and the result of this match was the Hardys defeated the Great Hands when Jeff Hardy hit the Swanton Bomb on John Skyler to score the pinfall victory for his team. Backstage, Ryan Namath mocks the Hardys' win and is confronted by Leon Slater. It ended in a tussle that needed to be separated by security, and it seems like these two will have a match on next week's show. Mance Warner and Steph DeLander come out on the stage. DeLander says they are the greatest digital media champions of all time. Mance Warner says they are the champions and they are stars. DeLander says they run TNA, and they make history, and eventually they will rule the whole world. Warner and DeLander begin to make out before being interrupted by Santino Marella, who says they are gross and disgusting. Marella says they can't inherit a title they never won. Marella says he's taking back the title, and they can no longer call themselves champions. Santino announces that later this month at Unbreakable, there will be a tournament to crown the first ever TNA International Champion. Steph was denying to give the title, but Sami Callihan attacked Mance Warner and hand over the Digital Media Championship to Santino. Backstage, the Great Hands and Tasha Steelz kidnap Derek and throw him in the trunk of a car. They take him to a meeting with Mustafa Ali, who mocks his sobriety. Ali implies he ruined a family's life because he was drunk, and calls him a monster and an addict. After the break, TNA announced that El Hijo del Vikingo will return to TNA for the Ultimate X match at Rebellion. Then we saw a match between Masha Slamovich, Zaya Brookside, Laying Lee vs Tessa Blanchard, JC Jane, and Jasmine Nix, and the result of this match was Tessa Blanchard, JC Jane, and Jasmine Nix won the match when Tessa Blanchard hit Masha Slamovich with the buzzsaw to score the pinfall victory for her team. Security is shown backstage looking over Derek, who they imply has fallen off the wagon. Mike Santana comes in to check on him and is clearly angry about the situation. Frankie Kazarian comes to the ring and says he's cashing in his Collier Shot trophy at Rebellion, taking advantage of Henry's current shoulder injury. Kazarian is interrupted by NXT's Ethan Page, who makes his shocking return to the company. Ethan Page comes to the ring and says he respects Kazarian for cashing in on an injured Joe Hendry to win the title at Rebellion. Page says the problem with that is he's already pinned a 100% healthy Joe Hendry. Page says he knocked on Morella's door a few days ago and got a title shot against Hendry at Rebellion. Kazarian says that's not happening and he won't stand for it. Page says he'll give Kazarian the first shot at the title. Kazarian tries to attack him, but Page lays him out as TNA Impact goes off the air. How much you would rate this week's TNA show? Let me know in the comments and thanks for the watching.